Look at the picture. See the skull. Visible Frankenstein controls. The Brain Thoughts broadcasting radio. The Frankenstein earphone radio. The latest new skull reforming to contain all Frankenstein controls.
Good evening, one and all, no matter what time of day it is for you, and welcome. Whether you're one of our dear dedicated Joshes or simply listening to this while you type a mean comment, welcome, one and all, to Frankenstein Control.
Yip, yippee, skippy parade.
Why, it's the dawning of a new era.
Is it?
Probably not, really, but it feels like it now, and it's nice to pretend. Because Bernie Sanders is surging in the primaries.
Yay.
The spread of coronavirus has prevented multiple corporations from meeting their quarterly profit projections.
Yay!
And the Oscars were swept away by a movie with a strong anti-capitalist message written by a guy named Bong. That's right, I believe Parasite was nominated in all 420 Academy categories.
Is it just blazing through all the awards?
It's just blazing it right up.
Okay,
Blazing
cool.
saddles.
But yes, global elites are starting to shift uncomfortably as more and more of the small folk seem to be brazenly discussing the need for change. Their hegemony is far from any real danger, of course, but nothing beats the small stab of satisfaction every time you see yet another establishment type post some meme about how America will never vote for Bernie Sanders. Mm-hmm. Because that's right, nobody's going to vote for the guy who keeps winning in all the races where people tell you who they want to vote for. Just goes to show you they're starting to feel the heat.
I just can't wait for like news reports, like polls on CNN to come up and be like, in New Hampshire, turns out New Hampshire's just full of fucking idiots.
That's exactly what they're doing.
That's the CNN report right there, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not even kidding.
Establishment Junior. I like how this is quickly turning into like a fucking, like the minute Rush Limbaugh gets cancer, I guess we have to be the new talk radio station full of crazies. You won't believe the liberals this season. They're going around, they're telling people that global warming is causing all the algae to die. You know what's causing the algae to die? My head wound. Please proceed, B-Rye.
Smooth move, X-Lax.
And then he killed the dog.
That movie was the crowning achievement of cinema in the 20th century.
Yeah. Anyway, yes, please proceed.
Your earlier point about states getting dunked on after their, Bernie wins their primaries, that's actually a real thing. And That actually brings us to our sponsor tonight.
Oh.
The Jeff Bezos-owned Washington Post has been releasing diss track articles every time Bernie wins another primary. Basically smearing the states where it's like, is Iowa really that important? And stuff like that after it obviously went for Bernie. But that, of course, culminated in their most recent diatribe following his victory in New Hampshire last week, wherein they determined that Bernie Sanders has officially supplanted R.L. Stine as America's scariest Jew. Well, as luck would have it, it just so happens that old Uncle Bernie has his own line of ghost-written scary story novels in the same vein as Goosebumps.
Oh, is that a fact?
It is indeed.
Is that true?
It is. They're called douche chills. They're published by Guillotine Press, which is a small subsidiary of Tor Fantasy.
These are just names.
Tor Fantasy is the, I'm pretty sure they're who published Sanderson for the Stormlight and Mystery books.
Bernie Sanderson.
Bernie Sanderson.
Well, that's right. I reached out to Guillotine and offered them the sponsor slot tonight because all Douche Chill sales go directly to the Sanders campaign, and proof of purchase can stave off the endless bombardment of text messages from Bernie asking for more money, the likes of which have comprised approximately 80% of Lyssa's phone notifications this month.
Oh, wow.
Every time her phone goes off, I'm like, I am once again asking you for more money. I need your help. I want to like a little bit Welsh there on that last one. Anyhow, the novels of the Douche Chills series promise terror and adventure for old capitalists and young bootlickers alike. Look for such captivating titles as The Estate Tax Walks at Midnight, The Haunted Mask at the Republican Super PAC fundraiser that was just Sheldon Adelson, Monster Blood 5. Ruth Bader Ginsburg develops a cough but gets better. Welcome to Camp Lonely Bones, the summer camp that Jeffrey Epstein also ran where you could sexually assault skeletons.
No. No.
The abominable rent control of Pasadena. The curse of the selfie with Mohammed bin Salman. Night of the Living Dummy, starring the evil ventriloquist doll Swedish Greta.
What? Oh. Okay.
The George Soros under the bed. The horror of our completely unchanged lavish lifestyle despite being forced to pay our employees a living wage, and the fact that we technically make less money now even though we don't even feel it. And lastly, of course, Monster Blood 6. B-Rye turns our podcast into a generic late-night monologue. Hi-oh! So, I think I'd better turn it over to you two after that long-winded political joke.
Yes! Welcome to the hottest late-night show on television, Frankenstein Control. I'm your Ed McMahon, Taylor Russell. To my right is Ada Ship.
I'm Ada, and I don't have a stand-in for any female talk show hosts that, or at least not late night. How about, I'm Wendy O. Williams.
What?
The bitch everybody hates.
Wendy, is that Wendy middle initial O. Williams, or is that Wendy O. Williams?
Wendy O. is someone else. Wendy Williams.
Oh, okay.
Right? Isn't she the one that was like telling women to like go off birth control so they can get kids, and like lie to their husbands?
That sounds like
weird. She says all kinds of crazy shit.
Sounds like the Goop lady.
Yeah.
That does sound. You mean Gwyneth Paltrow?
That's the one. Goopeth Paltrow.
I mean Pepper Potts.
I mean, yes, yeah. And you know what? In front of me, as always, our very own Goop magazine, B-Rye.
I'm B-Rye, and I'm the hated Andy Richter sidekick character.
You're not fat enough. You're not fat at all.
Real talk, I actually love Andy Richter.
Andy Rectum.
He's funny and he's sweet. I like him.
It's funny how much Conan I watched back in like high school, but I never really saw much of Andy Richter. I think those were like the days where he just wasn't on the show.
Well, that was back when he was trying to do his show that he briefly got. Andy Richter Controls the Universe, or Andy Richter something. Andy Richter Showtime 90s is what it was called.
No, you're thinking of Life with Louie.
No. The only reason I remember the Andy Richter show that he had that was very brief-lived was there was an episode that I was watching where he had to get into a fight with a guy for some reason, like you do, and somebody said like your only fight move was the windmill, and he just like walked forward like while windmilling his arms, and that was how he attacked people. And he like tried to use it on the guy, and I just thought that was really, really funny when I was like 11. And that show was on.
Oh my God, he's a whirling dervish.
Add some blades in there, you're invincible.
Well, I hope everybody's had a fantabulous week. As good as a week can be in our capitalist nightmarescape, keeping with the political twinge that this entire episode has. You're going to walk away from this episode and your face is going to be blue. Not from being a heavy, Democrat or anything. I mean, just you will have suffocated under the weight of our political might.
Our ceaseless bloviation. On that, well, it's not on that note at all. I wanted to do a quick correction before I forgot.
Ceaseless bloviation? Is that a Dark Souls boss?
It should be. It's the Rush Limbaugh Dark Souls boss. He has eyes all over him. He's a Bloodborne crossover monster. He's too much insight on him and whatnot. Anyhow, I wanted to do a quick correction before I forgot. I fucked up once more discussing sumo. The last time I discussed sumo, and I called the tournaments Bon shows or something.
Yeah.
It's Basho. I fucked that up, and I listened. I heard myself talk and say Boncho about 40 times. I was, you fucking idiot.
Now my joke about like, oh boy, that's the Boncho matches. It doesn't work.
Don't work no more.
It just makes people want to Basho us online.
Yeah, which they will anyway, and will deserve it.
Yeah. I mean, not wrong. Well, Mr. Correctington, I hope you're proud.
Yeah, I am not, but at least I set the record straight, as it were.
And that's what we do on Frankenstein Control. We always set the record straight and we always come clean and are honest about everything that goes on. Isn't that right, 500-foot bloody skeleton outside of our window? See, he's been there, and it's time we came clean.
You know, thinking of bloody skeletons reminds me, Valentine's Day was last week.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all do anything interesting?
Hell no.
I ordered Lissa. Lissa was gonna get me some stuff for Valentine's Day, but then she
forgot.
No, she a bunch of expenses came up. I think with her car and shit. So
Bernie Sanders texted her for the 15th time. She's like, I gotta.
Fuck! It'll make him go away for a day. I will give him
just a day.
Make it stop.
Yeah. You bought yourself 24 hours. I'll see you at 2 p.m. tomorrow. We have to fight the billionaire class. No, but she had some expenses with her car, so she's going to take me out to dinner either this weekend or pretty soon. We were going to go out to dinner. I got her a external hard drive for her PS4 like I've been using on mine, which has really been literally a game changer. And because we enjoy Netflix and she'd never played any of the games, I got her Witcher 3, the complete edition. The complete edition. So I got her that.
Witcher 3 will be complete.
And so nigh is the time of the sword and axe at our house. She's been enjoying it, and I've been watching her play and really enjoying watching her like it and have fun.
More like the time of sword and ass.
Yeah, did you get her the DLC that allows you to play as naked Geralt?
You could just do that anyway. You could just unequip his clothes.
And just run around with a swanging dick?
You can't run around with a swanging dick.
Well, you're not naked then.
Yeah.
It's loincloth, Geralt.
I mean,
take that loincloth off.
I want one officially released game where I can unequip all of my clothes and just have a big... I want dick physics. I want cock and balls bouncing.
Doesn't, Rust do that?
Well, I know they have naked men, but I don't know if they have swinging dicks.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about dick physics. Dickics.
Okay.
You know what was really funny trolling from a game company known for their outrageousness? Was in Grand Theft Auto 4, I believe it was The Lost and Damned. It was either The Lost and Damned or that other DLC for GTA 4 where you're Luis Lopez. Gay Tony, that's what it is.
The Lost and Damned is what happens when a millennial's cell phone goes out in an area they're not familiar with.
Thanks, Rush Limbaugh, keeping it true.
My GPS is gone. Why didn't I read more books? That would have solved my poverty. Yeah, you like that, huh?
Am I 17 or am I 35? Boomers can't decide.
Yeah.
You like the Fortnite? You just see Bernie flossing.
Oh my god, I tried to picture Bernie Sanders and I legitimately came up with Grunkle Stan, so thank you for that, Taylor. No, but nudity in games.
Oh, hell yeah.
That DLC, one of them was either, they were released as a double pack, so it doesn't really matter if it was Lost or Damned or Gay Tony, but one of them said, and this was new to the game, it said in the little ESRB thing, full nudity, or something like that, implying more than just the boobs that they would occasionally show.
Turns out that full nudity was male.
It was. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what happened. You wait the whole game, and you go into the strip club. The strip clubs are completely unchanged from the vanilla game. Nothing new is added. And then there was one scene where this douchebag you work for stands up during a massage and hangs dong. and it's like, there it was.
Well, it was Ballad of Gay Tony.
I don't even think Gay Tony was involved.
Well, it's called, you see the name and you're like, I get the sneaking suspicion this game isn't about a happy guy.
Well, no, he's definitely gay.
And you know what? All power to him. I'm just saying, with a name like that, the expectation, and it says full nudity. You know what? Probably gonna see a guy drop dong.
Speaking of real gay, I had a Valentine's Day escapade.
Oh, no.
Since this is the first time I've ever had a relationship, we wanted to make Valentine's Day special. So my girlfriend Jen and I.
Could you, real quick, regale us, Ada, about what's written on the calendar as we speak?
Oh yeah, on for Valentine's Day, I wrote Jen gets dick down on the calendar.
And it's like, oh my god.
I saw that.
You wrote that down like the second you changed it to February.
I did it before.
You fucking wrote that shit on the calendar.
I lifted up January so I could write that. But we went to a
so ridiculous.
We went to a high end.
To CC's Pizza.
Shut up! How'd you know? I'm that predictable.
Wait,
That's
actually what you guys did?
Yeah, I was gonna do a joke.
Wow.
I was gonna be like, we went to a high scale Italian restaurant and then reveal that it was CC's, but no, I'm a predictable fool.
I mean, it's still a nice gift. I mean, you went all the way to Falls Church for that.
Manassas.
Oh. There's one in Manassas?
Yeah.
Oh.
Speaking of, my parents...
But yeah, we went to CC's and I brought
yeah,
roses in a vase and a candle. And we had a romantic, disgusting pizza time. And I ate so much I almost barfed.
That's what you always do.
Yeah.
And while she marveled at how disgusting I am.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know what? If she stuck through that, that's a keeper right there.
Yeah.
There was times when I was in LA where I think I talked about this before, where I ate some like chicken sandwich and I was like, I'm real glad Lissa didn't see me eat that.
Yeah.
I'm real glad of that. I need a shower.
I have moments like that as well, where like I'll finish a dish and only then realize like, wow, I'm glad I'm alone. Because if I was around people, this would have been, I'd never live it down. I'm covered head to foot in barbecue sauce. There's like coleslaw under my ball sack. I don't even know how that happened. But
I'm sat on my pulled pork.
I pulled pork on my pulled pork. It's a terrible affair, and like you just sort of. It's like the end of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, where like he's looking around the room
after having eaten the bird.
After having eaten his friend. And there's just body parts everywhere, and the house is dark, and you're just like breathing real deep. Because you got the meat sweats. You're just like, I'm glad I live alone.
I want to, before I completely fucking forget, you mentioned Manassas and gay shit.
Uh-huh.
This was years ago, mind you. Actually, I think before I met the two of you.
Wow.
There was
what were you doing in Manassas?
No, I wasn't in Manassas. There was an article in the newspaper. And my parents, like, this is the hardest I've ever seen my parents lose their shit.
Uh-huh.
There was an article that, like, I guess around probably like 2006 or 7, this was. I placed the time frame. And there was a masseuse who just opened up a shop in Manassas. And he was openly gay. And it was like people always have, like, there's that sort of undeserved, most of the times it's undeserved, that seedy reputation that, massage parlors have.
Yeah.
And it's like most of the time they're professionals in there. It's like a healing place, and they want to do their job, and it's not gross.
And they tug my cock professionally. God damn it!
But of course, because the fact that the guy was openly gay caused a bunch of nasty rumors.
Yeah.
And this is real. This is the real headline that got published in the actual newspaper that my parents received.
Okay.
And the article about it was, "Gay masseuse divides Manassas."
Oh.
And my dad was like, no! How did they get this in the paper? He thought it was genius. Yeah. And he's like, how did they let this get in there? Somebody was asleep at the wheel.
Somebody was very awake at the wheel. They were woke at the wheel, be right.
Well, originally it was Gay Masseuse splits Manassas in half. So they toned it down from that, so they thought it was okay.
And that was like the first revised version. The original version was
Gay Masseuse splits Manassas in half with his
oh, jeez!
Oh, God.
Oh, my God!
That's much more explicit than
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what I said.
That's pretty bad.
It was alien. Dude, ooh! Speaking of aliens.
The Blue Devil.
Yes, it's time we talk about the Blue Devil himself. Because over Valentine's weekend, what better way to bathe in the afterglow of all that Valentine's fucking than leaving your significant other and going to a movie theater to watch Sonic the Hedgehog in theaters now.
I haven't seen it, so this is going to be new for me.
It's going to be nude for you.
Spoiler alert, I guess.
Yes, yeah. Spoilers for Sonic the Hedgehog if you care.
Sonic dies.
Yeah, Sonic dies. It's the end of the franchise before it begins. Bold of them to make the movie Sonic 06.
He gets a degenerative disease. It turns into like weekends with. I fucked up the reference. Never mind. Move on.
That's why Sonic looks like he does. He has progeria, nature's cruelest joke. As you often like to say, B-Rai.
Oh, yeah. Wait, it's Tuesdays with... I don't remember. There's some book about a guy who has a degenerative disease. He dies, and it's sad, and the book is told from the point of view of a friend who becomes a caretaker, and it was going to be a here comes B-Rai with a literary reference that's dark, and I fucked it up because I couldn't remember it, and now I'm embarrassed.
Is that the short story about the kid who was friends with a boy who owes a balloon?
Oh, no, that's extremely fucked up. That's pop art.
Yeah.
Oh, it's called pop art?
That's called pop art.
Not hop on pop?
No, not hop on pop.
Oh, man, I have a very different interpretation of that Dr. Seuss book. Dr. Masseuse, gay masseuse book.
Yeah.
So anyway, speaking of gay masseuses, spoiler alert for Sonic the Hedgehog, whatever, fuck you, 3, 2, 1, hey, we watched Sonic the Blue Hedgehog, and, yeah. It was pretty good. I was... like a lot of people in the discourse right now, I was surprised.
Yep.
I was very surprised. It's not like movie of the fucking year. A guy named Bong didn't direct it, but
it's a competent and entertaining movie.
Yeah.
And if you like Sonic, you should enjoy the movie too.
I was...
That's as ringing an endorsement as I suspect it'll get from any actual newsworthy source.
Like, I went in expecting a fucking garbage fire, and instead I got Detective Pikachu. I was like, this is passable.
Yeah.
This is all right. I'm cool with this.
And Sonic flosses twice.
Yes.
He has really good gum health.
Yeah.
Could it just be the fact that Ben Schwartz is a gem? And
Probably.
Yeah. He did a very good job in the movie. So what say we go ahead and just talk about do our classic thing, Ada, where we
oh boy, Ada and Taylor are gonna burn it down.
where we fucking just talk about a movie and describe it in the stupidest way possible.
Let's not describe the whole thing. We don't have time for that.
We get a shot for shot.
Yeah, we don't need shot for shot.
I won't be shot for shot. So anyway, the first shot of the movie. I will say in the first scene of the movie, it shows Sonic's homeworld with like the loop-de-loops and the checker patterns and stuff.
When he was a babby.
And they play the song that is the intro song to Sonic Mania, my favorite Sonic game. And I thought that was nice. There's a nice little nod to the fan base. So anyway, Sonic runs through a place, and then he has an owl for a mom. And I'm like, who's this?
Yeah.
Who's this? That's probably why they made her an owl. And she's like, Sonic, you have a spectacular power. You can't let anyone know about it. And Sonic's like, okay. And like immediately echidnas show up in like battle armor. And they're like, whoa, chasing, like throwing spears and shooting arrows at him. And she's like, oh, fuck! Sonic, you're fucked! You gotta get the fuck out of here! And so
pork chop sandwiches.
she's like, here, take this bag of powered rings. They will teleport you to Earth. It is safe there. Tell no one you exist. And then Sonic's like, that won't fuck me up. Bye. And so basically Sonic spends the next however many years of his life.
10.
10?
Yeah.
10 years? Okay.
So he's actually only 12 years old for the whole story that we see.
That's weird. I don't know what to do
12,
with that information, but I don't like it.
Oh, I thought he was like 16.
No, I mean the little baby Sonic they showed was that's like a 3-year-old.
I thought
it was like a 6-year-old, because if it was 10 years, it would make sense because like his canon age in a lot of the games is 16.
I have always interpreted Sonic.
Actually, Sonic the Hedgehog is 16 years old, and his name is Ogilvy.
And Mother Longclaw was referenced in Archie Comic 4.
You remember her name? Oh my god!
I have always interpreted Sonic as a firm like 42. I cannot conceive of him that he's supposed to be a teenager.
Yeah.
It's weird.
He's a tween, which is why he's flossing.
Yeah.
It's perfect behavior for a young man his age.
It's why he is a Fortnite dancing fiend. That's
why he spends so long in the shower.
It's the only thing he doesn't do quickly.
He takes his time with that. You got to with gloved hands. So anyway, I do like how they whether it was actual thought put into it or not, it explains why Sonic is like an attention grabbing sort of a look at me kind of guy. Mm-hmm. Because he spent like 10 years keeping hidden on Earth.
Mm-hmm. He basically became a cryptid.
Yeah, he did. He became a cryptid. He was only spotted a number of times by a crazy old prospector who drew a picture of him to show to the police, and it was the fucking gotta go fast.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh my god, that is genuinely really fucking funny.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That is okay.
And
I gotta hand that to him.
And so it makes sense why Sonic is kind of obnoxious and like, whoa, and look at me, because he's only had popular media to give him any kind of human contact outside of spying on people.
Yeah.
And he's been alone his whole life, so
spying on people.
That's what he did. Is he would He was like, I got all these friends around town, but it's just him like watching them through the windows, just being like, yeah, we're friends.
That's insanely creepy.
They touch on that, like the character.
Maybe that's why they had to change his design. that corpse-faced monstrosity staring in your window.
Yeah, could you imagine that spying at you?
It's like what we ended up with.
The glass.
What we ended up with is like, oh, look, a weird but kind of cute alien is watching us. Instead of like, yeah, there's a molester outside. He's gonna diddle our dog.
And so anyway, the main plot revolves around Sonic loses a quill in the grass while doing his Sonic-y shit. Oh, by the way, also in the beginning of the movie, the thing that made me like instantly sort of go, okay, I'm in this.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna watch this movie seriously now instead of just as a goof. Mm-hmm. Was the scene where Sonic he's running down the road and he finds a turtle walking across the street and he's like, hey little buddy, how's it feel being so slow all the time? Well, you know what, today's your lucky day. And just Don't Stop Me Now by Queen is playing and he's just running at like 700 miles an hour down the fucking highway holding the turtle in front of him like he's flying, and then shows the turtle and he's got like his turtle skin is like flying back like and then like he comes to a stop and like puts him back in the forest and he's like, there you go little guy, and the little turtle's like quivering. Just like, okay, I like this is a good time. I'm in. But yeah, the movie revolves around Sonic loses a quill and like his quills harbor some of his like super speed powers. I guess he has the speed force in his quills or something.
Yeah.
And the government
wants to weaponize him?
Yeah.
Basically.
Mm-hmm. Basically.
Like, this is an infinite source of power. We're going to send Robotnik to take care of it. And Robotnik is, within the context of the movie, a super secret outcast scientist that isn't supposed to exist. Mm-hmm. So they're like, here you go, you can just get free range to fuck up this small town to find whatever this thing is. And
he does.
Jim Carrey, he's... As a person, apparently he's like an anti-vaxxer, and
not anymore. He renounced those. He's gotten better than that.
Okay, cool. Well, he's a treasure.
Yeah,
he is.
Yeah,
it's okay to love him again.
Yay! He's definitely one of the better parts of the movie. Is Dr. Robotnik's antics?
Yeah, just being Jim Carrey.
He was married to a crazy lady, and like he went along with her beliefs, and then he's since like kind of apologized for that, I think.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yes. Well, and pretty much the movie from the point that Sonic needs help going back. Okay. So he realizes he's been found out.
I've been compromised.
Yeah, I've been compromised, and he needs to teleport himself to the next world, the next zone, shall we say?
Hell?
No, not hell. A mushroom land with no one in it but mushrooms. And he's like, okay, I guess I'll just live alone on Mushroom Land now. Oh, goodbye, Earth. But then he gets discovered by the policeman the other main character of the movie. I forget the actor's name. I apologize. But
his name was either Tom or Tim.
Tim shoots him with the tranquilizer dart, and the rings accidentally get teleported to San Francisco, and they're in Montana.
Yeah.
So,
road trip.
Yeah, and then the movie just becomes a fucking road trip movie after that, and it's pretty okay, actually. It's pretty all right. All the scenes where Sonic, like, you go into what he experiences when he goes super fast, and it's basically like the Quicksilver scene from X-Men Days of Future Past.
Right. Where he's all slow-mo.
And he's moving regular and everything's all
the
slow-mo.
World is slow-mo in relation.
And like those scenes are funny, and like the
pretty well done, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too. Like, it's very seamless. None of it seems like overtly fake.
Yeah.
Which impressed me. Like, you would expect, them to be a bit goofier on that end, but no, it all looked great. And they get to San Francisco and some goofy shit happens.
Oh no, how are we going to find all the rings amidst these extremely high rent apartments and these homeless shit all over the street?
No, they get to San Francisco, and then Robotnik shows up, and he's like, hey, also Robotnik likes creating robots that look like eggs. And then
Are Scratch and Grounder in it?
No.
I was really hoping that his like assistant would have been like Mr. Scratch or something.
Yeah, no, his name was
Mr. Grounder
or
instead
Old
of
Scratch the Devil.
No, I think his assistant's name was Stone.
Yeah, it was Stone.
Yeah, it should have been
to do some rock reconnaissance.
I gotta need rocktion. Anyway, so that's why Sonic starts calling him Eggman.
Oh.
Is because his robots, like, they fold up into the shape of easily carryable eggs, but then they unfold into like robots and shit.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, there's a standoff, and then it turns out Robotnik is using one of the quills in his robot machine. So then Sonic goes into super slow mode to avoid a bunch of missiles, but then Robotnik starts chasing after him, which I thought was that was cool. It puts them on even ground, which I enjoyed. And I was like, oh shit! Well, that I was not expecting this. It's a little less one-sided than I thought I'd be. Go, Jim Carrey, get him!
And then Sonic is like, you can move it by stop time, nunny.
And Robotnik's just like, time has resumed. So they have a crazy world-spanning battle because Sonic has the rings that can open up portals to different locations. So they go to a bunch of crazy places like Egypt and stuff.
They blow up the Sphinx.
They blow up the Sphinx, and then they come back to Montana, and there's a big fight in the middle of the street, and then the situation's resolved, and it's fine. It's a perfectly passable film, and I was surprised, to be honest, and just a little happy. I'm a little happy that at least there's one good thing.
One good Sonic thing.
One good Sonic thing.
Maybe this will reboot the franchise.
Yeah, that reminds me. At the very beginning, it's like showing the Sega logo, and it like starts just on like gameplay of Sonic, and it's like zooming away as like the gameplay changes, and there's more screens popping up, and the screens all form the word Sega. But for that first screen of Sonic, it's like shows the first Sonic, and then it goes to Sonic 06. Oh no! And I'm like, how dare they?
Bold move.
Yeah, strong start. And it wasn't just Taylor and I that went to see it. We went with one of his friends, and towards the end of it, they had this like the ending credits song, and they had played it at the ending credits, but they also played like the official music video version before the movie started.
Yeah, because we were at the Alamo Theaters. You should go. It's a great place. Good. Sponsored by Alamo.
And I just heard her go, yeah, they're really trying to make this song a thing, huh?
Wait, does the gun truck show up at any point?
No, I was hoping it would.
Damn.
There's a point where they're like going through all the streets of San Francisco,
and
it's just like blowing up all these cars. Like, when does the giant truck show up? When?
Yeah. Unfortunately, by the time San Francisco rolls around, Eggman's already got his superpowered.
Yeah, he doesn't need trucks.
Egg floater. Yeah, he doesn't need the truck, which is a bummer because it's San
Everybody
Francisco.
wants to see the fucking gun truck.
We want to see the giant truck rolling down between the San Francisco townhouses and people getting crushed horribly. And
Sonic sliding around on his soap shoes.
That's the next movie. Sonic doesn't have his trademark shoes for like 2/3 of the movie.
Yeah.
He gets them from a little girl.
Oh.
He's got girls' shoes.
Okay.
Sonic is breaking gender norms.
True that. But yeah, he's just wearing these beat up sneakers with holes in the soles and stuff. Just like the hole in his soul. Why does he have rings? Because they're empty in the middle.
Just like him.
Just like Sonic.
Just like him.
Just like Sonic. Oh yeah, and there's like a teaser for, some sequel
Potential sequel.
After the credits where Tails shows up. And it's funny too, we were drinking in the bar and Ada was like, there's apparently like a mid-credits scene, and I'm like, Tails shows up. And lo and behold, I'm like, look how good I am at guessing obvious shit. But yeah, and then Ada was like,
oh yeah. I was like, I had read somewhere that there was a 2D animated segment after the credits. What I read, I misread, and they were talking about the actual credits. But I told them that there was like a scene after the credits, and then we sat there the whole thing. There was none, and Taylor's like, "You lied to me." And then someone behind us is like, that's like my favorite Game Grumps bit.
I was like, I am amongst good people.
We are amongst our own.
But yeah, so is Sonic the Hedgehog worth going to a theater to see?
If you like Sonic, yeah.
Yeah, if you like Sonic, yeah.
If you're with a friend that likes Sonic and you don't really care for it personally, yeah, still.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, it's an enjoyable enough film. There were actual moments of legitimate laughter. Like I had a good couple of nice chuckles.
Yeah.
That was a good time. So go to your local Alamo
library.
Theater. Go to your local library and purchase all of the Ken Pender's Echidna comics. And have yourself a good old time. That man can't draw to save his fucking life. His children are dead. Good night, everybody.
Now even you know I am a menace. I hand you the secrets to save the entire human race and the entire universe.